I got to watch more Witch at Atelier. Anyway, welcome back to the Dino Cinema. We're gonna get into episode 5 today. I still don't think I have any more to say on the last episode. Because last time I came away from the last episode feeling not like it was a bad episode at all, but it just didn't have as much for me to sink my teeth into as the other episodes did. Which, I mean, you know, that's gonna happen with any show, I feel. Especially, you know, shows that have, you know, only 20-minute episodes. Not every single one is gonna be, like, crazy packed with stuff. And also, I don't have the benefit of hindsight from the manga, so I don't have the full context for everything, so I'm sure if I'd read the manga, watched that episode, there'd be so much more for me to dive into. But as an anime-only, first-time experiencer, not much else for me to say that I didn't say last time, and I already didn't say a whole lot last time. So honestly, this video is already late as is, so I just want to go ahead and get into episode 5. I did get spoiled to something that happens in this episode, but usually what happens with me when I get spoiled for stuff is I usually forget about it once I get immersed back into the show or movie or whatever. So, bummer that I know what happens, but not exactly a surprise, but it is what it is. Whoa, whoa. This place is way bigger than I thought, like, vertically. And horizontally, honestly. This place is fucking huge. That dragon animation was crazy. I'm sure it was CGI, but it doesn't have that usual... What the fuck are these subtitles? I'm sure the dragon is CGI, but it didn't have that usual, like, janky CGI look. It just, like, looked good. Like, I didn't think about it. Okay, sorry about that. I had to, reconfigure my subtitle situation. I may or may not be watching this, somewhere that's not intended. So they've been going in circles. That is good, though, that they at least are recognizing places. They need to do that more, like mark more areas, so it's easier for them to know where not to go. Oh, Coco's really trying to reconcile. Animation for just like little things. Just not needed to go this hard. Yeah, I knew it. Yeah, Tedia doesn't blame Coco, but Coco thinks she does. Oh, she's so sweet. Even though she thinks Tedia blames her, she doesn't resent her for it. Oh, this is a huge moment. Eh? Oh, Tedia picked up on that too. I thought she said she wasn't able to contribute any spells to the world. But this is her original creation? Oh, it's not finished. Looks pretty pog to me. See, people were hating... Apparently people were hating on Tedia. All you had to do was wait a week. Mario Galaxy. What she was trying to say earlier. It's a Gareth Edwards dragon. It gets bigger depending on the scene. It really didn't. Oh. We're gonna try to, like, comfort the dragon? All our help was for the power of a warm bed. Just thinking about the dragon's well-being, that's crazy. It's like I said last week. Or did I say that last week? I don't remember if I did. But yeah, bringing in someone... I stole this idea from another YouTuber. I think the YouTuber was named Lazy Jesse. He said that for a magic system built around thinking outside the box, what better way to advance it than to bring in someone who has lived outside of said box? You know? Someone who wasn't raised to be a witch, but is coming into it now. That's what we're seeing right here. I'm gonna backtrack a bit so I can, because I was too busy trying to think about what I was concepting there. The spells that aren't forbidden are the ones that bring happiness to all. I don't know if it'll work, but unfortunately, because of the spoiler I got, I'm thinking about it now. It is kind of ruining this part for me, but it is what it is. It just has me thinking about it in a different way, I guess. They make every little thing just so animated so nicely. Let's just be bald and naked. Oh! I don't like sand. She's not gonna do that. I'm the main character. I have to contribute somehow. You're gonna yell at you. Oh wait, that's what I do. I still can't draw. I still can't draw perfect circles, but I draw better circles when I kind of like feel it out first in the air. I don't draw that much. I'm not really a dedicated artist, but when I do draw, that's what I try to do, which I didn't come up with. I think I heard about it in like a YouTube video. Pretty much anything I know about drawing comes from YouTube. She's already trying to contribute, as she should. I think she can do something. It makes sense that you draw the ring first and then you draw the stuff inside of it. Okay, the animation in this episode for like just every little character movement is like, I feel like it's on like a whole other level from the other episodes. Fuego? Okay, damn. Like, I know I shouldn't be surprised that the animation is fire in this show, because how it started, but still. I guess I just can't help but be awestruck at beautiful art. Art is magic, after all. God, no, this episode is like on a whole different level, though. I'm speechless. Which is not a good thing in a reaction. The show's just beautiful. I'm supposed to be talking. Repetition. I wonder what that meant. Oh! Sorry, the animation just crazy. I'm a sucker for like those isolated character over like bright background shots. See that a lot in anime. They're never not cool to me. Maybe the dragon isn't CGI. It doesn't look like it at all. Whoa. So it's constantly rebuilding itself. Oh, the dragon loves it. COCO was right. I love that paneling, which I don't know if that's the right term in animation, but smart I got. I love how it just instantly worked. I thought the dragon would like, first time I've ever made someone happy with a spell and it's a dragon. Oh, did the stone get... I guess it got sucked in with him. Sorry, I'm just speechless this episode. The emotions and animation is just like... The thing that I got spoiled on was the fact that Kiefer fights the dragon. Oh! Raw. Like, I'm in this for the narrative, but the pretty visuals definitely don't hurt. Holy shit. You know, when fire's that big, maybe it will hurt the dragon, despite it not working earlier. Was it like lava? No, that's water. It's just colored like that because of the sky. So Kiefer, he probably knew what would work on it. I mean, I don't... Regardless of whether or not water was his weakness, getting hit by that much water is gonna hurt. COCO. Uh-oh. Okay, Palpatine. COCO is gonna learn the ways of the Sith. I was actually gonna kill myself when that was the end of the episode. I was like, there's no way it goes by that fast. Oh, I think we are getting credits though. That's crazy. This one also went by so fast. I don't remember seeing her pass out. Like, I need to rewatch... I need to skim back through the episode because I've been so distracted by the visuals. They're flexing hard with this episode. What does he say? They're not just safe, they're terrifying? Oh, thriving. I was like, what? What's in the ink? Did the brimcaps use like some weird ink? The Knights Morales? Do not tell anyone of this. Damn, Kiefer. Well, I wondered why last episode was so, minimalistic. That was why. It was but the first half of this episode. That was basically a two-parter. Those episodes complement each other really well. Like, I'm not the kind of person that likes excusing things being lackluster. The last episode wasn't lackluster, but just in general, I don't like excuse things for being lackluster is like, oh, it's world building, it's setup, it's going to lead to something better. It's like, yeah, but I want to enjoy the story along the way. You know what I mean? Like, where it's like, oh, you know, like a movie comes out and it's like, yeah, that was whatever, but the next one's gonna be, it's setting up for the next one. The next one's gonna be so much better. It's like, yeah, but I want the first one to be good too, you know? That wasn't the case with this. Like I said, last episode was good. It's just that I'm just saying in general, that's what I look out for in media, is just not making excuses like that. But I wasn't making that excuse for last episode. I was just, you know, it was just a different type of episode compared to the ones I'd seen before. But this one, hell, this might even be the best one yet. At least in terms of like the animation, what they pulled off of the animation. I want to say it's easily the most impressive one. I need to rewatch that scene where COCO and Atelier are like making up, because there was a lot there for me to unpack and it moved by so fast. Not because it was like paced poorly, but just because it was so dense with emotions that it was hard for me to absorb everything at first. Like it's not that I didn't appreciate the moment, it's just that I appreciated it emotionally more than intellectually. So now that I've seen the episode, I want to try to appreciate, that's kind of how I feel about the whole episode in general. I want to try to appreciate it intellectually after being so emotionally absorbed into it. Sorry if you keep hearing clicking, I'm fidgeting with this toy. Don't worry about it. I'm hearing the music now too. Y'all can't because of copyright, but I find that interesting. Coco says she feels really safe when she has the cloak on. I don't think really much has happened since she got the cloak. I mean, there wasn't any reason for her to feel unsafe before they came to the labyrinth. So it's interesting that she already has this attachment, these feelings to the cloak, despite not being in the labyrinth that long. Like the fact that she's already able to put into words and recognize how the cloak makes her feel, despite not having it for that long, and this being like the first time she's had to feel security from it. But I think the reason she's tapping into that so quickly is because she's trying to find a way to comfort Tedia, and I think she's just, her mind's just firing off all cylinders trying to figure out how to do that, and she's thinking about the cloak. Like I think her talking about how safe the cloak makes her feel. Let's see that shot where she talks about that beautiful. Perfect thing to have on screen while I'm talking about this. Like everything she's saying right now, I think she's I'm not certain on this, just speculation. I think she's just now realizing that it makes her feel this way because she's trying to comfort Tedia, but she's also trying to comfort herself as well, even if she doesn't realize it. Because that's something that I've done before. I've done a lot of times before where I was trying to comfort someone, basically just by making up shit on the spot, by being like, well, here's what we're actually kind of recently. I kind of did that. I was trying to help someone work something out. That they were anxious about, and I was talking about not only things that I already knew about myself, but things that I was, I guess I've never put into words before. I was sort of realizing while I was trying to help them out, and I think that's what Coco's doing right now. But I think hers is more based on she's not really bringing in any prior knowledge or past experiences, because this is all very new to her. Her finding security in the cloak, I think, is that this is a brand new experience for her. So I think it's more that kind of thing, and I've been in that situation too, where I didn't really realize something. Like I said, like prior knowledge and experience plus figuring out new things to comfort someone. I've also had it before where it was just finding out new experiences and trying to comfort someone through that, if that makes sense. I feel like I'm kind of like tripping over my words now, but so it's funny too that I say that, like figuring out feelings while you're trying to explain it to someone else, in my case to you, to YouTube, because that's what literally I'm doing right now, trying to figure out. Because at first when I was talking about how Coco feels security with the cloak, I was like, and I was feeling this like on initial viewing too. I don't think I said it, but I was like, that's kind of sudden, isn't it? But now I'm bringing in my own experiences into that, and I'm like, well, actually, I see the psychology behind that now, because I can relate to it. Because what I do with stories is, in this situation, I'm able to look into the psychology of the character. I'm probably not objectively correct. This might just be my own personal interpretation of it. But I'm able to get into the psychology of the character because it reminds me of stuff that I've experienced before. But if I can't do that, I try to analyze stories and the mindsets of characters to understand things that I don't. well understand. Because as it says on my on the description of my YouTube, I try to analyze stories to understand the world and myself better, to try to figure out things that I don't understand better. So it's amazing that I was able. I've been yapping about just this one very specific thing about COCO finding security in the cloak, and the episode isn't even 2 minutes in. Also, I don't think the opening played in this episode. No, it didn't. The opening didn't play in this episode. They really wanted to get all the time out of this episode for the purely for the story progression, which I appreciate. I love me some openings, but if we can get more time dedicated to the actual events of the episode, I think it's a worthy sacrifice. God, this shot right here, this one blew me away. I need to see what the manga panel for this looks like. Like, if the manga panel for this is somehow more beautiful than this, I'm already gonna read the manga, but yeah, that's gonna be a huge sell for me. Yeah, so the manga panel, because it's not animated, it needs to give a greater sense of motion leading into this frame. By having her hair up more, she's got a leg up, the clothes are more up, whereas in the anime they opt more to have her already in a landed position, and instead of emphasizing movement so much, they're more emphasizing like the colors and the lighting and the depth of the space. I'm not really that good at art. I'm not very introspective when it comes to knowing visual art. So I did my best there trying to analyze that. This series is called Rider Reacts for a reason. And that's interesting too, that Tedia immediately was like, I'm sorry I looked at you like it was your fault. I wasn't sure when I watched the last episode if she recognized that, but thinking back on it with the way she reacted, she was like, maybe I did notice that. I think I did say something about how she felt like, I think I at least picked up on the fact that Tedia felt guilty for looking weak in front of COCO, but I guess now she immediately noticed that she might have seemed like she was blaming COCO, and she's apologizing for that. That was another thing, first time watching this episode, 2 seconds ago. I was like, man, Tedia really picked up on that fast, but it's because she picked up on that fast here, but it's not because she noticed it here, it's because she noticed it back then. It's not like you actually said it, but if I acted like it, it's no better. Yeah. Actions, if they don't speak louder than words, they can speak just as loudly. Yep, that's exactly what it was. I've been doing this longer than you. I'm supposed to protect you. She didn't... Because, yeah, that wasn't stated at all in the last episode. I basically just picked up on that from that glance she gave. See, because I remember seeing something about how, like, people hate Tedia for blaming COCO and all that. It's like... And people were... Apparently people, like, hate Agat right now. And it's like, guys, come on. Have you never seen fiction before? Like, this is gonna resolve... It's gonna evolve in some way. Whether they're gonna become more negative or less negative towards COCO, which, I mean, it's kind of obvious they're both gonna become less negative. Because, like, this is, like, the main crew. Like, they're not gonna hate each other forever. Which, it's not impossible that the story could go on in that route where they do resent her long term, but it's like, it's just not, that wasn't the vibes I was getting. It's like, I don't know, that's to me that feels like a huge, like, it feels like you have to go out of your way to want to see the story in a way where it's like to where you have to be so emotionally immature that you see COCO crashing out, or sorry, you see Agat crashing out at COCO, and you feel like personally attacked for that. Especially because these are just kids, right? I think that's something that people miss a lot in media, is like they get so attached to these like young characters that they forget that they're children, and that they're, at least in this show, that they're reacting to things in a way that children would. And they can't necessarily be blamed for that, because they still have so much to learn. So I try not to dog on people, but it's also like, I guess maybe I'm making the same mistake. Maybe I'm seeing, because I just assume the people that are online making these comments like this are adults, are grown adults. But I mean, who's to say these aren't also children saying these things and reacting to a god in these ways? I mean, it's not impossible, so maybe I'm making the same mistake that they are by judging them without considering their disposition. That probably being a child is a disposition. I went on a long tangent there. I don't even remember what I was trying to say. Yeah, so she's talking about how she wants to make this cloud bed spell like a general use thing so people can use it for comfort. She says it may not be the most useful spell, but it's my dream and it means a lot to me. And that's art right there. Art isn't necessarily useful. I feel like a lot of people get insecure about art. I think people that make art and people that don't understand what art means to people can both fall into the mindset, for different reasons, can both fall into the mindset of, well, it's not productive, it's not useful, so what's the point? But, you know, they forget the emotional value. I think that's something that's a huge problem in our world, is just a lack of empathy and a lack of valuing emotional and mental well-being. And art is second to like meaningful connections with other humans. I would say that art is like the most important thing and the most satisfying, useful. I don't want to say useful. The most powerful, I guess the most powerful thing in regards to emotional well-being. Because I think no matter your situation in life, whether you're rich, you're poor, or like you're healthy or you're, you know, sickly or whatever, I think arts, meaningful connections with people and arts can both make you happier no matter what else is going on in your life. Say as I punch the mic, like desktop wallpaper material right here, like, oh my god. Like I've loved pausing this episode and yapping over it because there's just so many beautiful shots. Okay, so another thing I find interesting about this episode is how COCO's response to overcoming the dragon is by doing something non-aggressive toward it. Doing something non-aggressive toward it that isn't... I mean, it is a distraction, but it's... Because I think what everyone else was thinking was, we need to do something elaborate to defeat the dragon. We need to defeat... Like, that's the main... The only way we're going to get out of here is defeating the dragon. We can distract it all we want, but that's not going to be a permanent... That's not going to be how we get out of here. But COCO is thinking that the distraction could be the permanent solution, which doesn't even necessarily end up working in the end, but it got them really far. So it's like I said, like, COCO thinking outside the box is really important for her, I guess, her role in being a witch and everything. I just think it's really interesting that she goes straight to a pacifistic sort of approach, which also makes sense, I guess, because again, she wasn't raised as a witch, so her approach is going to be different. She's not thinking as combative. I don't know if witches are necessarily trained to be combative. I know Agat is definitely more intense than the rest of them. Given the spells that they know, I imagine when they're faced with obstacles, they are generally taught to fight it off. Like, hey, if you ever face a dragon, you should probably use combative spells against it because it's a dangerous foe. I mean, she grew up, you know, making clothes and stuff, making comforting things and living in a comfortable home. So I think just, you know, making people happy and comfortable is just like her default sort of mindset. And I think Keyfree teaching her the importance of spells that make people happy, I think is something that really resonates with her because of that. So yeah, I have to, because I didn't understand at first why immediately she goes to making the dragon comfortable as a means of overcoming it. But then I had to talk my way into it, as I did with the other topics earlier. I had to talk my way into it to understanding it. Now I do, because it's just where her head is at. Oh yeah, I wanted to stop and see what Riche was thinking about here. So she's thinking about herself in a bed twice, and the brush buddy and Keyfree. I noticed the Keyfree one, the other ones I didn't notice. Oh my god, I got there. Oh, that's also why she thought about the plan, because she was also thinking about how the dragon got hurt, and I guess that also led to her thinking about making it comfortable. So that's just another layer on top of everything else I said. Again, some of this is fact because it's literally stated in the show. Some of it is also just my own interpretation. So I'm not gonna act like I've solved everything. It's just, again, my interpretation. I really like this shot. We had this same shot composition a little bit ago when Agat was sitting down. It's very unifying. I like it. I'm not the best at describing visuals. I'm more I'm better at like looking at like the psychology themes and like what's on the paper if I can see it. Of course I can like what's in the writing, I guess is a better way to put it. I'm not as good as like analyzing visuals. I would like to get better at that. But I just don't spend a whole lot of time drawing myself. I spend more time on the other stuff, so it's not something that comes as natural to me when I analyze stories. I wonder how many pieces of paper are in these. I forgot what it's called. Quilm. I forgot. It's a weird word I've never heard before. But yeah, there must be a lot for her to be okay with just like scrapping some and throwing them away in this survival situation. I gotta see this part again because this just like they're literally just running upstairs and it looks so epic. Yeah, this isn't CGI. So the reason this looks so appealing is because this isn't a 3D model being moved toward the camera. This is every frame, or how many frames they draw in. This is being redrawn in order to to bring the environment closer to us, while also drawing the characters running, which each one of them running looks amazing. Like, even something like this could be like, it's just like a great shot in its own right. So, oh, and then, oh, that looks so good. Then they start flying. Yeah, like I said, even though I'm not an animator, I'm not really that good at drawing, that experience of drawing. Even I know, like, why this works. Why this is so appealing. On top of that, I think so while that part was drawn, the dragon looks drawn, that's not 3D. I think the rest of it, everything around them, is a 3D environment. Yeah, which is what I'm used to seeing, like in scenes like this. I would expect them to be running over a 3D environment, but it just, you can feel the effort, the handcrafted effort, by the fact that the environment that they're running on is hand-drawn. And then I believe, yeah, this, you could tell it's got a different texture to it because it's not the same hand-drawn look. This is 3D, I'm pretty sure. The platform that they're running on before, that they're still running on, pretty sure this is 3D now. Could be wrong. So the dragon grew. I don't think we ever got an answer for why it grew. It's really interesting. God, and this whole montage of them drawing the spells. I don't know if I can really give any analysis on it other than it just is beautiful. I'd be interested to hear an artist's perspective on why all of this works so well. Maybe one day I can get there, but right now I don't have that sort of knowledge. Oh my god. Can we talk about that shot though? Like, again, I don't really know how else to describe this other than I guess I just need to figure out what all of this is hand-drawn. I think everything on screen is hand-drawn right now. Other than, like, maybe these pillars that you can barely see anyway in the very background. I don't think... Oh my god. Yeah, this is all hand... I think the dragon's hand-drawn, too. Yeah. This is a crazy shit. This is even crazier than the other one I just broke down frame by frame. Okay, yeah, I don't think we get any 3D until these blurred buildings in the foreground. Those are the only other 3D things I can see. Everything else is hand drawn. Like, they so easily could have just made the dragon CG. I think even the dragon in Freerin is CG. The red one that Stark fights. I might be wrong on that. I'd have to look at it again, but yeah, I mean, there's nothing wrong with doing CG. I mean, anime doesn't have the best track record at having good-looking CG, but it's not always bad. But here, I mean, the blend of the two is, and sometimes there's hand-drawn things that are so smooth that you're like, that your mind, like at least I in other shows have been like, oh, it looks really good, but I could tell that's CG, and then I'll find out like it wasn't CG. So there might be some of that in this too, or things that are CG that I think are hand drawn, but they just work so well. God, look at the dragon is still hand drawn. All that movement, still hand drawn. Like, God, I love this shot because you would expect them all. In these sorts of shots, usually stuff is static, and then a god just starts walking. That's so good. Serpent's bed of sand. I didn't notice that last time. There's a shot coming up with Tedia here that is beautiful. I say that as if all these shots aren't beautiful. The first time she's ever made someone happy with the spell. I don't know if she means the dragon or COCO. Both. Yeah, this one. I'm also a sucker for hair flowy, these sorts of shots. I can't even pause on just one frame. It all just goes into. It's not even like, oh, I have to pause on this exact frame. This is where it looks best. It all looks great. I love how the forbidden magic has a much more ominous look to it, because the regular magic, I don't know if there's really a word for it, has this very like warm, beautiful, nostalgic feel, whereas the forbidden magic, I think it even moves differently. It has a whole different like colored language to it. I love that shot. That's another one I think I want to break down frame by frame. It starts on Tedia's eye and then goes out. If we can't even see Riche's face, that's so funny. So wait, did breaking the seal... I guess, yeah, breaking the seal did open it up, but unfortunately it also attracted the dragon. So I guess the dragon is smarter than I thought, because I guess the dragon knew to protect the seal, and it knew to go there to find, to attack them. Again, I think that was all hand-drawn. Can we talk about the colors here? God, we've got the green from his shoes, got the lightning, got all these different, like, more subtle colors, and then we've got the reds, or like the pinks. God, this is... I remember hearing someone saying that this series is like a celebration of animation, and I mean, I think any half-competently made show is, but this just... so good. Yeah, this shot fucking... I think my jaw actually dropped at this, when this happened. Oh, dude, they did the Attack of the Clones seismic charge thing, where there was silence before the big... That's so good, dude. Silence speaks volumes if used right. Like, the fact that it goes silent there for a second before exploding. I think even while it's exploding. Yeah, during the explosion is silent, but then we hear the aftershock. Cinema. Oh, I forgot about the water dragon. What can I even say? I mean, it's just gorgeous. You know, sometimes I think even if I didn't know how to analyze, you know, animation better, I think even then it's like, what else can you say? Like, I think even the professionals would be speechless at this, other than just saying it's just magnificent. This part looks insane. I am getting hella Star Wars Chosen One vibes from COCO, where like that specific brimmed hat character is doing the Palpatine thing of, or like Aizen with Ichigo and Bleach, of having this like long like master plan set in motion like from forever ago, and manipulating a character to help them make their ends meet. Will COCO turn to the dark side? Here's the thing too. The reason Anakin turned to the dark side, it's because I was thinking about this already anyway, the parallels between Star Wars, the Jedi in Star Wars and the witches in Witch at Atelier. In Star Wars, Jedi can only be trained, like during the prequel era when like the Jedi Council or everything, um, Jedi can only be trained, can only begin their training when they're like toddlers, basically. I think like 4 to 5 is like the cutoff age, because they want Jedi to not have any attachments, right? They don't want them to have anyone that they deeply care about, because they fear Jedi who lose the people that they care about, what they end up doing with the power that they get from that pain of loss, right? So they want Jedi to not have attachments. But Anakin was taken in as a Jedi when he was 9 years old. Eventually, they end up agreeing to train him because of Qui-Gon and Obi-Wan and everything being so insistent on it. And Anakin lost his mother, and there was a huge darkness within him that festered because of him losing his mother. He was separated from his mother when he was 9, and then like around a decade later, she dies in his arms because of the Tuskens not only killing her, but torturing her before that. So his mother not only died, but died in a very fucked up way. And then he tries to find that, he tries to fill that void in his heart with Padme, his wife, and seeing some parallels here with COCO. I think I said I don't remember I said this in another video before, but I think it's really interesting that they start training witches at a young age. I don't know if they have a cutoff range for their training, if they have this similar sort of... We already know that the witches are gatekeeping magic because they fear what the larger society is going to do with it. But I also wonder if they fear what people trained too late are going to do with it. They haven't necessarily stated that with COCO. People have more voiced their concerns so far about bringing in COCO just because she's an outsider and she wasn't raised as a witch. She's not as familiar with the witch ways. I don't know if it's necessarily to do with her age, her being too old, and her having an attachment to her mother, but I wonder if it's going to go in that direction, if the Brimmed Caps planned for COCO to hurt her mother, for her to feel that pain, and for her to feel it over the course of time, for that darkness to fester within her like it did with Anakin. And then for later, I don't know, I don't want to know, but I don't know if this story is going to show COCO getting much older, or if it's going to be like a Hunter x Hunter thing, where it's like long-running series where the character doesn't really get that much older in regards to Gon. But yeah, seeing some Star Wars parallels here, and I like it. I'm scared for COCO, but I like it. To sum it up, I see like the larger witch. We haven't really seen like the witches that are in control. I forget what they're called. The Knights, something Knights. Keyfree mentions here in a minute. They might be like the equivalent of the Jedi Council in Star Wars. Keyfree might be the equivalent of Qui-Gon, who maybe acts outside of the usual way of things. Because Qui-Gon would have been on the Jedi Council if he adhered to the Jedi Code more, but he didn't. He was a little more loose with the rules, and they didn't like that about Qui-Gon. And I remember Keyfree. I think Keyfree also acts outside of the rules. Obviously, we see that with him taking COCO in, and also with him not erasing her memory. Alayra said something about how him having his own atelier away from where the rest of the witches are. That's also outside of the norm. So I'm seeing some... both of their names start with Q, by the way. So yeah, Keyfree and Qui-Gon having parallels, and then this unnamed Brimcap character that we keep seeing, I see as Palpatine, and COCO could either be an Anakin going to the dark side or completely and doing fucked up shit, or being more like Luke, being tempted into doing so, being manipulated, somebody bad trying to manipulate him into doing so, but ultimately doing the right thing in the end. We'll see. We'll see. Okay, that animation is so good. There is so much to those expressions there. Tedia asks if Coco's okay. Coco's response: she's just woken up from being unconscious. You can see here she's still trying to get her bearings. She's thinking about Tedia's feelings, I think. Tedia's right in front of her. She's thinking, comfort Tedia, make Tedia not be worried. So that's what she's doing here with this smile. Right here. Her mind is completely focused on comfort Tedia. She holds it up for a little bit there. And then we're already starting to see it in her eyes here. Her resolve is starting to weaken. Right here. And then I guess just the guilt is setting in. Putting everyone in this situation in the first place. Guilt is setting in. She was dropping to a frown there for a second. I don't know how it happened, but now her eyes are looking more somewhere in between that resolve and that guilt at this point. It went from resolve to guilt to somewhere in between. Now the smile is more forced. It's more it's the smile's a lot heavier now. She's having a harder time keeping it up. I don't know how they do that, but like the smile looks so different now. It just doesn't look as strong as before. And then completely now she's just completely giving into the guilt. It's completely taken her over. And I don't think we're going to see any more smile from her. Yeah, now it's just like she's gritting her teeth. Not seeing any more smile from her in this shot. Now it's just full-blown guilt, and now she's literally dropping out of frame, hiding her shame. Cinema. Okay, so since we analyzed that one, I want to analyze this one too. Because that we had one shot that was like very long, very elaborate, intricate shifting of emotions. Now we've got another one here where this is after Kiefer comforts her. This is her processing his words, being awestruck at what he said, just how strong Kiefer is. Then she starts welling up with tears. She's still feeling the emotions from the guilt. Those tears are coming from the guilt. So is that frown. Wow. Okay, now I think she's trying to like claw her way out of that guilt. I think she's trying to show Kiefer that she understands what he said, but she's still so deep in that guilt that all this like shifting of emotions is like, or shifting of facial expressions is like literally her trying to get out of that guilt state. And she's just so... Okay, there we go. Now she's finally pulling off a smile again. I love the runny nose thing, by the way. I always love that when people cry. Very realistic. Like, it's gross, but it just makes it feel so authentic. Oh, and now she's... Now this is comfort right here. Those tears that had started from guilt, those tears that came from the guilt, have now sort of shifted into just an overwhelming sense of comfort. So much she's feeling such an overwhelming sense of comfort that she's like having to close her eyes to take it in, I guess, to relish in it. Now she's wiping away the tears. She wants to be strong too. See that in her smile here. She wants to get on his level now. Enough crying. I feel Kiefer's strength, so I want to have it too. Now the tears are gone, and she's looking at him again. She's like, "Hey, I hear you." Amazing. So he says, "Don't tell the Knights Morales about this. We have an obligation to report for forbidden magic sightings." We have never seen Kiefer this, and we've seen him intense before. This isn't just a mission to take down the brim caps. That intensity I'm seeing from Kiefer, this is personal. This isn't just a mission. This isn't just duty. This is personal. So they did something to him. Well, he got deep into Nonola's soul there. Yeah, for now, I don't really think I have anything to speculate on with Kiefer's darkness, just because we don't know anything about the brimmed caps. But there's definitely a darkness in Kiefer. I think before he was always serious about the brimmed when it comes to stuff with the brimmed caps. But more so I saw it as serious as someone as he can get. But now I see that he has a personal stake in what the brimmed caps do. Probably something they've done to him. And the fact that he's wanting to go off the books in regards to this situation, like, I don't know if people who see Keyfree as a chill guy, I don't know if they want to be around when he finds when he gets his hands on these brimmed caps, because we might see a part of him that is not so pleasant. It's not what people are used to seeing from him. Witch Hat Atelier episode 5. There was a lot there. This is the longest I've recorded for a reaction yet. It's gonna be the longest reaction yet. I still feel like there's so much I could say, but I think at this point, with as much as I've said, I think I'll just go ahead and just let myself just stew on everything from this episode. I'll probably end up watching the dub for this one too. I'll watch the dub for episode 4 as well, and I'll see what I have to say beginning of next episode, and maybe I'll find more Star Wars parallels. If there's anything you noticed in the episode, of course no spoilers if you read the manga, but if there's anything else you've noticed, definitely leave a comment below. Let me know your thoughts and speculations. See you next time, and remember that art is magic. Especially after that episode.